9.06 miles, 8 minutes, 32 seconds per mile. Taking it relatively easy out there today, running with my running buddy. Hadn't seen him in a while, so it was good to kind of get back, connect with him again, and just have a good run on a Saturday. We spent a lot of today, not a lot, but a decent amount of time today talking about Chicago, because I think we're about 18 weeks out now from the Chicago Marathon. And a lot of people are starting their marathon training programs, which both of us think is a little bit kind of crazy. I think that's way too long to be training for a marathon. Just mentally, it's just such a grind. But I think that a lot of the people that are starting those 18-week training programs maybe aren't exactly like couch to marathon type people, but maybe are people that are not running year round. And so in that sense, the first probably, 6 to 8 weeks or so are probably a lot of like getting back into the routine and building up some consistency. So if that's the case, I'm sure that makes sense. But I'm not really all that ready to think about Chicago yet. But that doesn't mean I'm not thinking about races between now and then. And for the most part, there's only one like real race that I'm considering and going to treat like a race, and that's going to be the Chicago Half Marathon. That's in September. That'll be kind of like the start of my taper, is right after that. So I'll be running that one. And this year it's sponsored by Hoka, which is the first time I believe that race has had like a shoe sponsor before. So that'll be interesting. But looking forward to performing well in that. I haven't raced a half marathon since the F3 Winter Half Marathon in January. And then I was coming off a pretty bad cold. I think I had the flu at the time, and the time really wasn't all that great. It was also like incredibly cold, 14 degrees Fahrenheit at the start of the race, technically, although it felt so much colder than that. But between like now and that race in September, I don't really have any other like races per se, but I do have a couple of events that I'm looking forward to. At the end of July, I'm going to be doing another Ragnar relay. This time, it's going to be a Ragnar trail race. Last time I did one, that was a point-to-point where we started just outside of Chicago and ran about 200 miles between 11 of us on our team up to Madison, Wisconsin. This time it's a trail relay, which is a little bit different, where you have kind of one mega base camp, and then there are 3 different loops that the different team members run around. So that'll be interesting. It's going to be up in the Tetons in Wyoming. Never been out there before. It's going to be at elevation. It's going to be a lot of climbing, a lot of new experiences for me, things that are very outside of my comfort zone. So I think that'll be good, both getting ready for it and doing that event to kind of build up some strength before I really start thinking about Chicago. Also, before I go there, though, I'm trying to squeeze in a 5K or maybe a 10K just to kind of switch gears a little bit, going from marathon training, trying to do something that's a little bit faster, just to give my mind a break, give my legs a different kind of workout and different kind of stress. And so the Rock and Roll Half Marathon will be the weekend before the Ragnar relay that I'm going to, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do the 5K or the 10K. Last year I did the 5K, and I thought that worked out really well. So I'm going to lean towards the 5K. July is a really hot time to run and race in Chicago, so I'm leaning more towards the shorter race. So that'll be July. In August, I wanted to do the big 10K, which is a race I hadn't done in a long time. And last time that I did it, I did the 5K. So I was going to try to do the 10K this year. Unfortunately, we'll be out of town. We have some family stuff going on. So I'm going to try to find a different race to hop into. I'd like to do a 10K in August, just kind of thinking, 5K in July, 10K in August, half marathon in September. So that's kind of my goals for this summer leading into the fall, into my marathon. And that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys are getting ready for. I'd love to hear about what you guys are running, especially if you have a 10K in the kind of Chicago area. Or we'll also be spending a lot of time in Iowa, maybe Wisconsin. So anywhere in kind of those states, 10K in August that you're running that you think will be interesting, let me know. I'd love to learn more about that. Now, before I go, I want to talk about the charity run for this week. This week, the charity runner is Jonathan Aird. He's going to be running the Berlin Marathon and raising money for MS Society. That's a charity that means a lot to him, even though he's not a marathon runner. His sister is getting involved as well. She's not a marathon runner either. but they're running and raising money for this charity because their mother has been affected by multiple sclerosis. So I was very happy to donate $70 to his fundraising efforts, and I'll post links in the description in case you'd like to learn more. That's all I have for today for everybody. Thanks so much for making it to the end of the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yo, what's going on?